Students, this video is on International Business Finance IBO 06, and I am sharing all the important questions and answers from my latest study materials which I have written for you, and we will go unit wise. Actually, before we start this video, I will tell you that this IBO 06 is not an easy subject because lot of tactical chapters are there, and you must understand the concept. I will try my 100% to make everything clear so that you get maximum marks in the examination. Okay, and one more request, if you like the video, kindly give a like, and also those new viewers who have not yet subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe and also share it to your friends. Okay, so this is unit 1, International Monetary System and Institutions. And in this, actually, the first question that I've written in my study material is on International Monetary System. And this question came in June 2022 examination. So just go through this. They again like this working mechanism of International Monetary System. This question also appeared in June 2022, especially this one, classical gold standard. So I have also explained these concepts in my previous videos. So kindly watch all my videos because I've got a complete playlist of all the subjects of MCOM first year and second year in my channel. So, okay, now let's start with this. That first try to understand what is international financial system. Basically, it is a mechanism through which the financial transactions take place between two or more countries. And in more simpler words, we can say that it is a system of monetary interactions between two or more countries, right? And the main objectives of financial system is to create a structured payment system, a uniform payment system, and to give the money the time value that it deserves, to reduce international risks, and to enable the most efficient economic resource allocation, and to maintain market stability of the currency as well as of the economic conditions. And these are the main components of financial system. This question is very important. You should prepare this question very well. And I have written here and also explained that what are the main components. Okay, I will just tell you the points because explaining all the points will make the video huge, large. So the first component is financial institutions, the second one is financial markets, the third one is money market, fourth one capital market, and let's see, some other components are also there of the financial system. Now these are the main components: foreign exchange market, then credit market, financial instruments, and money. So there are as many as 8. Apart from this, there are more components. I have just written 8, which is enough to get you 20 marks. And then the next topic is on regional development banks. This also it comes quite a number of times in short notes also. And generally, as the name implies, regional development bank, these are all situated in a particular region or a particular continent, and it looks after the development of that region. Okay, basically there are four important types of RDB. That is, the first one is Inter-American Development Bank, the second one is Asian Development Bank, which looks after the development of Asia, and the African Development Bank, which looks after the development of African countries. So like this you can explain all these points. And let's see like what is the role or importance of RDB. First of all, it provides financial assistance to developing and weak countries. The second one is it provides infrastructure for the development of international trade, and it also focuses on the agricultural development of the in the country. And now this one is the most important function: environmental protection, because this is the need of the day. So to protect the environment is our first duty, and there are some miscellaneous functions and facilities that are provided by RDB. Now comes the most important topic of Unit 1, and that is the Bretton Woods system. Very important one. And this agreement now has been, it doesn't exist now because it has been merged into other agreements, basically in WTO. So it was started way back in July 1944, and at that time only 44 countries joined this agreement. And slowly and slowly in 70s and 70s, this converted into WTO. And why this Bretton Woods conference collapsed? There are many reasons for this. I have written a few reasons, like the confidence problem, because most of the countries, they lost confidence on Bretton Woods conference, because basically it was dominated by America, so that was one of the problem. Then Sino-Rich problem was there. There was a problem with adjustment of currency, dollars, and there is a dilemma called Triffin dilemma. So that also affect the collapse of this conference. There was a problem of symmetry in this conference, so that led to the collapse. The liquidity problem was there with the currency, and due to the rising inflation, this conference came to an end, and it developed into WTO. WTO एंड बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट, ये दो टॉपिक ऐसे हैं जो ऑलमोस्ट हर सब्जेक्ट में हैं इन एमकॉम फर्स्ट ईयर एंड सेकेंड ईयर, तो इतने कॉमन टॉपिक है। तो WTO एंड बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट, ये दोनों को आप जितना लर्न कर सकते हैं, पढ़ सकते हैं, वेल एंड गुड, ज़रूर से हेल्प करने वाले हैं आपको। एंड मैनी टाइम्स आई एक्सप्लेन WTO, गट, इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड इन माय प्रीवियस वीडियोस. So let's skip this and move on to the next unit. The next unit 2 is on international financial market. Now this one is a very important topic. यहाँ से क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है every year. And financial market, as the name implies, it is a place where securities are bought and sold. Securities means shares, debentures, bonds, like that. And यहाँ पे इसके जो मेन फाइनेंशियल इसके बाद में जो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है, दैट इज़ ऑन इंटरनेशनल बॉन्ड्स. सबसे पहले देखते हैं व्हाट आर इंटरनेशनल बॉन्ड्स, एंड दीज आर बेसिकली इश्यूड बाय ए कंट्री और ए कंपनी दैट इज़ नॉट डोमेस्टिक फॉर द इन्वेस्टर. एंड द इंटरनेशनल बॉन्ड मार्केट इज क्विकली एक्सपैंडिंग एज द कंपनीज कंटिन्यू टू लुक फॉर द चीपेस्ट वे टू बोरो मनी. Okay, so by issuing these bonds or debt an international scale, a company can reach more investors. That means it can attract more investment, foreign investment. And there are different types of these international bonds that I have written here. The first one is domestic bonds. Then we have euro bonds. Now this is the most important one. यहाँ से short notes भी आता है. Then we have foreign bonds. So they also must be studied. So 3 types of bonds are there. And let's see, like, what are the instruments traded in the international financial market. One of the most important question again. So the basic most important instruments in these markets include foreign exchange, and the second one is derivative product. And let's see some more. International currency market, so this is also a part of international financial market. Then we have euro currency market. Basically it prevails in European countries. And the last one is money market instruments. As we know, money market instruments, it includes again quite a lot of instruments like treasury bills, commercial paper, बहुत important है ये, euro commercial paper, then certificate of deposits, then we have bankers acceptance. So like this, these are all instruments of money market. Okay, the next unit is international banking, and the first question came in June 2022 from this unit, that is international money market mechanism. How this money transfer takes place on an international platform. and what are the factors that has to be kept in mind when you transfer money on an international platform, and what are the different methods of transferring the money. So let's move on to the next question. The meaning of money market. Just now I tell you about this money market, and again, like here also, securities are bought and sold, right? It is a type of capital market, and its importance, I have written the importance, significance of this market. It helps in the development of trade and industries. It helps to develop capital market, then smooth functioning of the commercial banks, and you know it helps RBI to control other commercial banks in the country, and it also helps to frame monetary policies for the country, and it also acts as a source of finance for the government. So like this, now the main constituent, just now I told you about this, all these things like treasury bills, call money, repo rate and reverse repo rate, commercial paper and certificate of deposit. This question is one of the most important question. So dear friends, don't skip this question. Try to learn this question properly. Okay. The next suggestion will be on loan syndication. So loan syndication, I also explained this concept in my previous video, where two or more lenders come together or join hands to fund a single investment or to provide finance. So basically this is done when the loan amount is huge and it is not possible for one bank to provide such a huge finance. So that's why we need loan syndication. Then the next, now this is also the very important question, और बहुत बार एग्जाम्स में आया हुआ ये क्वेश्चन, प्राइमरी लेंडिंग रेट, सॉरी प्राइम लेंडिंग रेट, एंड बेसिकली इसको पॉपुलरली हम लोग PLR भी बोलते हैं, एंड दिस इज द रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट चार्ज बाय द कमर्शियल बैंक टू देयर क्रेडिट वर्दी कस्टमर्स. जो अच्छे कस्टमर्स हैं बैंक्स के, तो उनके लिए एक स्पेशल रेट चार्ज करती है बैंक, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड प्राइम लेंडिंग रेट. एंड इसके डिफरेंट अप्रोचेस हैं, मॉडल्स हैं ऑफ लोन प्राइसिंग. आई हैव रिटन हियर 4. फर्स्ट, फिक्स्ड रेट मॉडल, then variable rate model, then prime rate model, and rate of general customers. So like this, there are 4 approaches or models of loan pricing, right? The next concept is on yield curve. Now what is this yield curve? It is a graphical representation of the interest rates. Very simple. The different interest rate that are charged for different types of loans to different types of customers. So when you represent all these interest rates on a graph paper, that is called yield curve. And there are few factors which affect this yield curve, like inflation. If there is a rising inflation prices, so generally the interest rate increases, so that effect. Then economic growth, if the purchasing power of the people increases suddenly, per capita income increases, so that effect. And the interest rates, if the bank regularly changes or fluctuates its interest rate, that will affect the yield curve. And why this yield curve is important for a business enterprise. Now basically a business enterprise can forecast the interest rate, that what would be the interest rate after a certain period of time, looking by analyzing the previous interest rates. And it can also act as a financial intermediary. And the third one is the trade off between maturity and yield. So like this, it plays a very important role. The next unit 4 is on international transactions and balance of payment. I just now told you that BOP is one of the very important topic, very common topic. Almost it is present in all the subjects. So from balance of payment, the question came in the previous exam. So let's skip this and move on to the next one. You should also study about this. Distinguish between BOT and BOP, balance of trade and balance of payment. And balance of payment is a very broad concept, whereas trade means only, it is an account of trade of a nation. Then this question also came in previous years exams, that how devaluation is the most effective way to correct balance of payments, right? So you should define what is devaluation, then what are the factors on which devaluation of currency depends. So like this. The next unit 5 is on foreign exchange markets. Quite a lot of questions came from this unit in the previous exams. Like you got a short note on forex, that is foreign exchange market, commonly known as forex. So you were asked to write a short note on this. Then comes the what are the functions of foreign exchange market. Basically, it transfers the money from one country to another. It provides credit facilities and loans to the traders, and it also provides the hedging function, right? So very important one. And there are some advantages of foreign exchange market, like it provides the much essential flexibility in the trading activities, and it also provides a very transparent platform for international trade. So there is very less chances of cheating and fraudulent activities. Then it provides options trading. And let's see, like, what are the features of forex market in India. I have written here four features. The first one is low transaction costs, right? And elevated leverages, like, you know then third one is extremely transparent system is there in India. And forex market accessibility. So these are the main four features in India, uh, in the foreign exchange market. The next one is the different types of foreign exchange market in India. Basically, three types are present here. The first one is a stock spot market, and here readily we can make a dealing. And future market is concerned with future. That means on a future date, the transaction will take place. And the third one is forward market. So it deals in the identical to future market transactions. And the main difference is that the forward market, the parties will negotiate the terms, right? The next unit is unit 6, determination and forecasting of exchange rates. Now, the first topic that I have selected from this unit is exchange rate mechanism. This mechanism, how it works. So, this is one of the very important question कि exchange rate कैसे determine करते हैं, उसका mechanism, उसकी working कैसे होती है. And basically these two types of mechanisms are used all over the world. The first one is fixed exchange rate, and the second one is adjustable peg rate. Second method is mostly used by the companies all over the world. So okay, the next one is exchange rate forecasting in international trade. How forecasting is done? So forecasting is it is a quarterly estimation of the future levels of exchange rate over the next 4 quarters. So that is called forecasting. A few more points I have written in this definition. As you can see here, they are undertaken by the economists and currency analysts working for portfolio management of the firm. And exchange rate forecasts are based on expectations regarding the microeconomic variables and interest rate differentials. So it is just an estimate, an estimation, and based on that, the calculations are made. Different models are there. Now, this is the most important topic. It also came in June 2022. It came in short note, purchasing power parity model, PPP. And apart from this, there are few more methods like relative economic strength model, and we have econometric model. This is also important, and time series model. So four models are there for these exchange rates. And ओके, आगे चलते हैं। यूनिट 7, करेंसी रिस्क मैनेजमेंट। And here, we will be studying about the different types of risks involved in international trade. Now, these three types of risk are there. First is transaction risk, second one economic risk, and third one translation risk. And I have also explained about all these risks in my previous videos. So do watch those videos, and the link of the full playlist of IBO06, I will share it in my description box. So, okay. The next concept is derivatives. What are derivatives? These are financial contracts between two or more parties that derive their values from underlying asset, and it can be traded on exchange or over the counter, and the prices of derivatives are derived from the fluctuation in the underlying assets, and the common derivatives that are traded here are future contracts, forward options, and swaps. And this difference between futures and options, very important one. Don't forget to revise this properly. And this, what are international swaps? uh, like in my previous video I also explained this in detail. So okay, let's move on to the next unit. Unit 8, measuring and managing a transaction exposure. A lot of question came in June 2022 from this unit, like what is this transaction exposure, then how it is related with translation exposure, the difference of both these exposures. So very important one, right? You also get question from economic exposure and the different techniques of managing the transaction exposure, like hedging. You must read this question properly, very important one. Then refinancing, due diligence. So these are few techniques of managing transaction risks or exposure. Unit 10 is on corporate strategy and foreign direct investment. And here, like it is on foreign direct investment, FDI, and why this, like what are the regulations? Uh, what are the regulations for the foreign direct investment? Like foreign direct investment कैसे होगा, उसके procedures, laws. So everything is there. So that comes in exams. Then this one, FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, very important one. Almost every year question comes from this, and this is also a very common topic in in MCOM, like both for first year and second year. FERA, FEMA, दोनों important है. And why this foreign exchange is important for a country's development, like it provides employment opportunities, economic growth and development, human resource development, technology. So like that, there are so many points that you can write. I will say that you can write a novel on this topic. And this one, the difference between FDI and foreign portfolio investment. Portfolio means when we invest in more than one companies, so that is portfolio. यूनिट 11 इज ऑन इंटरनेशनल प्रोजेक्ट अप्रेजल, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट चैप्टर, और इस चैप्टर से क्वेश्चन आया नहीं था जून में, तो इस साल यहाँ से क्वेश्चन पक्का आने वाला है आपके लिए. यहाँ पे इंटरनेशनल प्रोजेक्ट अप्रेजल में लाइक वेदर ए कंपनी शुड एक्सेप्ट a proposal or not, so what steps it should take, what techniques it should employ to appraise a project. So these three methods are there: discounted cash flow technique, popularly known as DCF, non-DCF technique, and adjusted present value technique, APV. तो ये तीनों ही टेक्निक बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है, इसको बिल्कुल भी आपको मिस नहीं करना है, and it is a must question in this year's exams. Okay, and here I have written the difference between DCF and non-DCF, very important one, and this is on APV, adjusted present value method, right? Let's move on to the next one. Issues के बारे में भी आपको पढ़ना चाहिए. Unit 12 is on cost of capital. Cost of capital is not like जैसे कैपिटल को रेस करने के लिए कॉस्ट, ऐसा नहीं है. Basically, cost of capital refers to the rate of return the firm acquires from the investment. So that is called cost of capital. And यहाँ से CAPM is one of the technique, that is capital asset pricing model ऑफ फाइंडिंग कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल. ये जून 2022 में ये क्वेश्चन आया था शॉर्ट नोट्स में. ओके, आगे चलते हैं. यूनिट 13 पॉलिटिकल रिस्क एंड टैक्स एस्पेक्ट. ये यूनिट भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. मोस्टली क्वेश्चन पॉलिटिकल रिस्क से आता ही आता है एवरी ईयर, कॉमन क्वेश्चन है. एंड एज वी नो, पॉलिटिकल रिस्क रिफर्स टू द risk associated with the political situation of a country. And political risk can be classified into two parts: macro level risk and micro. And the main factors that contribute to political risk are, ideology of the government, nationalism feeling among the people of a country, the stability of the government, and international relations. That means the relation of the country with other countries. And there are four methods of measuring political risk. Firstly, frequency of the government changes. Then the second one, level of violence in the country, the number of armed insurrections in the country, and conflict with other states or countries. And there are few strategies and methods to minimize this risk, because whenever a foreign company tries to invest, it always analyze the political risk. So the first step it can take is to avoid investment in the foreign countries. The second one, there are a lot of insurance companies which provide exporter with insurance facilities. So in case of loss, so they compensate the loss. Third one is negotiation. It can make negotiation with the country's government that their trading activities will be secured. And fourth one is structuring the investment, right? So you have to design, you have to restructure the investment in such a way that it doesn't affect by the political risk. The next concept is multilateral investment guarantee agency, MIGA, very important one. And you might get a short note on this. And I explained this concept in the previous video also. And next one is a short note on international tax planning, right? So you must read about tax planning also, because paying tax is okay, like everybody pays tax. But when it comes to international taxation, there are at least two countries involved in this. So both the countries have different tax structures. So it is very important for a firm to see that what are the tax structures prevailing in the importing or exporting country. So okay, the next unit is unit 15, international cash management. And here you should read about what is international cash management. Cash management is okay, but international cash management, it is a cash management when you are doing an international trade. Okay, so this is as simple. And what are the main objectives of cash management? To maximize total cash and minimize the borrowings, to reduce the foreign exchange exposure, to stabilize foreign exchange, and to minimize the transaction costs. And one question came from this in June, that is from centralized cash management. And it was also asked that to write advantages of this. Then decentralization cash management is there, where each department or section of the firm have separate cash management. So that is called decentralization. And in centralization, all the cash recordings are done at in one place. Unit 16 is on foreign trade financing. How will what are the sources from which the importer and exporter can get finance? But before that, for a good international trade, these are the documents required, airway bill, the certificate of origin, then bill of lading, combined transport document, draft, insurance policy, packing list, and inspection certificate. So this question also comes in exams. And the next one is, LOC, one of the most important document in international trade. It is a written document issued by the importer's bank, giving the guarantee to the exporter that in case the importer doesn't make the payment, it will pay for them. Then there are some features of this, like, it is a negotiable instrument, can be transferred, and revocability is there. Then transfer and assignments can be done as it is a negotiable instruments. Then the next one is forfeiting. I explained this forfeiting in my previous video also. This one also, please do not skip this question, forfeiting. A very common question, a lot of time it appears in the exam paper. So this is all about like documents, the different types of forfeiting, then what are the advantages and disadvantages of forfeiting. So, very important one. And the next question also came in June 2022. It was about the different types of bonds and guarantees issued in the international trade. So, all these different types of bonds or guarantees. So, this question came in June 2022. Okay. Then the next concept in this unit is on counter trade. Now, let me tell you what is this counter trade. I have added newly in my study material. A country having an unfavorable balance of payment adopts this method to finance its imports. And in counter trade, imports are paid in terms of goods rather than money or currency. That means, you know, it is a type of barter system. And basically, the main motto is to develop or to increase exports. And there are different forms of counter trades, like, a firm can counter purchase, or it has, offset technique is there. It can buy back. Barter system is there, goods for goods, and there can be transfer of technology. So like this, there are five such forms or types of counter trade. Then we have this question also came in June 2022, that is transfer pricing. And this transfer pricing is also common in almost all the MCOM subjects. So you should, as an MCOM student of the first year, it is also there in the second year. Okay. Let's move on to Unit 17, Project Export Financing. Project financing, basically it's a new method, and here, the main, it is a source of earning by utilizing the minimum domestic resources, and it helps to export technical services and manpower. Then purchase of equipment for the project can be done in foreign exchange, and there are some credit facilities provided by banks on this, and it provides an opportunity for skilled and semi-skilled workers to work in foreign countries. So like that, there are different components, advantages of this. And this one is the different types of risk associated with project export. The first one is a commercial risk related with the trading activities. Then country risk is more or less refers to the social and political risk, and exchange and interest rate risk, because it fluctuates quite many times. Then this risk can be minimized by these four methods. Like one can make an advance payment, like, the exporter can ask for advance payment, and forex outgo technique is there. So the third one is agency. The agent is responsible for this to collect all the dues, and some, deferred credit limits can be structured to avoid the risk. There are different techniques or sources of financing export project. The first one is government export financing agencies. They provide finance for foreign projects. Second one is commercial banks. Third one, institutional lenders. And fourth one, money market funds. The fifth one is insurance companies. The sixth one is trade creditors. The seventh one, commercial censors. And lastly, international agencies like WTO, which also provide for for financing the projects. And this one question, like, why do companies borrows through bonds rather than taking bank loans? So basically, bank loans, they charge high rate of interest, and the recovery process is also very tough. So that's why the companies generally prefer to issue bonds and shares and raise money. Okay, friends, that's all in this video.